The Supreme Court refuses to hear a high-profile case involving Planned Parenthood. Among those who voted against hearing it, newly minted Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Correspondent Jason Calvi reports outside the Supreme Court. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Lauren. The question here is who has the right to challenge a state's Medicaid funding decisions, private individuals or only the federal government? The Supreme Court doesn't want to get involved in answering that question.
The highest court in the land rejects two states trying to defund Planned Parenthood. Pro-life leaders are disappointed.
This is the Supreme Court's job to decide whether states can defund Planned Parenthood.
Americans United for Life's general counsel filed a brief urging the Supreme Court to pick up the case.
States are not sure if they can defund Planned Parenthood from Medicaid, and yet Planned Parenthood affiliates across the country have been implicated in fraud, waste, and even abuse of taxpayer dollars to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. And that is something that the states took steps to remedy.
Yeah, there's researchers that are actively using fetal tissue products.
These undercover videos released in 2015 sparked a national outcry. They allegedly showed Planned Parenthood profiting from the sale of aborted baby parts. Some states moved to strip Medicaid funds from the abortion provider. Planned Parenthood and some of their patients sued. Kansas and Louisiana countered, saying only the federal government can challenge the states, not private parties. But most lower courts ruled against the states, so they appealed to the Supreme Court. Only 3 justices wanted to hear the case: Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch. In their dissent, Justice Thomas writes, "So what explains the court's refusal to do its job here? I suspect it has something to do with the fact that some respondents in these cases are named Planned Parenthood. That makes the court's decision particularly troubling, as the question presented has nothing to do with abortion." Brett Kavanaugh was among the justices who opted not to hear the case.
Planned Parenthood's new president praised the court's order, saying politics was getting in the way of people making their own health care choices. Americans United for Life is still hopeful that the Supreme Court will weigh the heart of the controversy in other cases. And the question there, can states defund Planned Parenthood? Lauren?
Correspondent Jason Calvi, thank you for that comprehensive report.